RPVtv presents Studio RPV, the Peninsula's local news show with co-hosts Maria Sorreo and Liz Brown Swanson.
Hello, and thanks for joining us today on Studio RPV. I'm Maria Sorreo.
I'm Liz Brown Swanson, and we are so excited to have the great mayor of Rancho Palos Verdes here in studio for our special Thanksgiving show. Thankful that you are Mayor Dave Bradley. Welcome.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here on Veterans Day, where we just did a Veterans Day celebration out in the parking lot, recognizing our veterans within the community and celebrating them and their service to our country.
And it's such a nice event. We've got 5 veterans right here at our city, which I did not know.
5 veterans that work on our city staff. Yes. And I think, Mayor, there was at least 50 veterans from our community that were there. And also honoring not just people that served in the past, but continue to serve today.
That's right.
Right. In fact, our Mayor Pro Tem is an Army veteran. He graduated from West Point and was in the Army. And also, a little closer to home, we have a veteran actually from the studio. Carlos was a veteran.
That's right.
And had a poster out at City Hall today in the parking lot with a, shall we say, a baby-faced picture of Carlos.
You know,
who has not changed that much
He
in the
hasn't
last,
really.
I won't say how many years.
we'll share that with our viewers. And I have to say, you mentioned that this was the second year the city's hosted this event and really brought the community together. And the veterans loved the fact that they, from all branches, could speak with one another, share stories. And those stories were on those boards, which was a new addition, and everybody seemed to enjoy that. I got to interview 2, including Carlos, a few veterans with their photos when they were 18, whether it was during Vietnam and today they're, in their 80s. And so, and to see that and have them reflect, but every one of them said, we have to remember freedom is not free.
That is so true.
That was the message of the day. And you opened up the ceremony.
Yeah, I mean, it is foundational to what we do. And sometimes service has become unpopular, but it is even more important today than it ever has been. There is a lot of strife out there in the world, and service to our country and service to our communities is so important to our way of life.
Absolutely. Such an important element to our freedom, to our democracy, everything for sure. Mayor, you have had such a busy year, and as we think about being thankful at Thanksgiving, you've had some exciting things that you've worked on as well, and we thought we would just ask you about some of them. This year, the big trip to Japan was amazing.
It was kind of consummating the final step of our sister city relationship with Sakura, Japan. The folks from Sakura had been here several times, and it was their 25th anniversary, and we had the opportunity and the rest of the city council to go to Sakura and meet with their entire city council and their executive staff and their city staff. Phenomenal trip, making those bridges across the Pacific, getting those cultural exchanges. And the sister city with Sakura all came out of the exchange program at Maryland Intermediate School that had been going on for about 20 years, where we are sending students from Maryland Intermediate to Sakura's middle school and vice versa. It's a great relationship. Cities of about the same size. It was a really great trip.
And they had you on such a tight schedule. The entire time you were there, it was 8 a.m., 12 noon, 2 o'clock. I mean, they had you guys running. What was one of the most special moments that you remember?
I think it was going out, and they have a park there and a art center that has a bunch of local Japanese artists, and it goes back to the fort that was originally there, which I think was established in like the 1200s. But seeing that type of history and the connection to the land and connection to their forefather, it was really special to be part of that.
It's amazing.
I know, and you went in March, so it was at the beginning of the year, and we talked in the beginning of the show about service and the service that you have done for our city. You were mayor. This is your second time serving as mayor, so thank you for that. Yeah. You served in 2022, and you elected to the council in 2019. You've been serving the community for a while, and before that, planning commissioner and on various city boards. So we can't say enough about what you've done, your dedication and hard work. And I mentioned March because at the beginning of the year, the city council was still tackling the ongoing landslide state of emergency. So it was nice for you to do something like that because we can't be all as a community talking about the landslide 24/7, but it is your top priority. So just share with us 2025 takeaways from being able to deal with this crisis.
So first of all, I have to disagree. I can talk about the landslide 24/7, and I do. It truly is the existential issue with the city right now on how we're going to preserve Palos Verdes Drive South as a major thoroughfare through the city, connecting the Redondo Beach and the beach cities to the port. So important to our residents to be able to get through that area. And stabilizing it really has been a major issue that we've been dealing with for the last 3 years. The amount of money that the city has spent because we have not been able to get help from or extensive help from our county, state, or federal partners. We have had some help and support from the County of Los Angeles, but that's about it. But the amount of funds that the city has expended to be able to preserve Palos Verdes Drive South is really unprecedented. And we're continuing to work with our partners to try to find additional funding. Some success stories, though, in the last 6 to 9 months, we've been able to demonstrate that our technical solutions to landslide stability has been working. So we've been able to reduce the land movement on the east side of the landslide complex, that's the Seaview neighborhood and the Beach Club neighborhoods, to almost imperceptible movement. Those communities now have their electricity back on, their gas back on, and we're really not seeing any movement over there. And that's due to a series of deep dewatering wells, the winterization where we line the canyons with plastic film to be able to convey the water out. Unfortunately, on the western side, over by the Heritage Wayfarers Chapel site, as well as the ski jump and the Community Association, that area is still moving well above the historic levels. At the height of the landslide movement, the western portion was moving about 13 inches a week. If you can imagine, almost 2 inches a day.
It's hard to believe.
We're now down to about 10 inches a month. Historic was about 10 inches a year. So we're still about an order of magnitude on the west side more than we have been historically. So we're looking at working with our federal, state, and local partners to come up with funding to extend what we've done on the eastern side throughout the entire complex and really reduce that movement down to hopefully manageable or imperceptible levels.
And I was going to say, you, as mayor, and the council and the staff has done an incredible job. This is not an easy challenge. It's a crisis.
Yep.
And through it all, whether it's holding town hall meetings, communicating with the residents, especially the ones impacted when they lost all the power and the utilities, and to see, things kind of being turned around. As I always mention, I live in Seaview in my own neighborhood with the impacted area up there by the Graben, just, the fact that there's not any movement right now being reported in our particular neighborhood has been fantastic. But the residents out there are still hurting, so you have to deal with that. There's people that still, can't live in their homes.
I mean, we have over 20 homes that have been red tagged due to the land movement. Some of these homes have been literally ripped in three. It's an unfortunate piece of geography when your home happens to be on two slip planes that are moving at different rates and your house gets ripped apart. It's just not what you expect. And my heart goes out to all of our residents that have been affected like that. It's just really tragic to see some of that stuff happen. Fortunately, we do have some programs that we're trying to help our residents with.
Right.
The hazard mitigation grant that we've received from FEMA, that we're going through the process of being able to work with FEMA to actually buy out those properties that have been red tagged. Hopefully will help those families and those homeowners get back on their feet.
And there have been so many really great people in our community that have reached out to help. I know that the Rotary and so many charity organizations, the dinners at Ladera Linda.
The Mend the Bend dinners that we had for over a year, where the community was able to get out of the landslide area, come to Ladera Linda and have a meal together. The LA County brought in some services that was helping them with showers and laundry facilities there during the worst of the crisis. And just see the community come together was really exciting to see. Unfortunately, it had to be for a very unfortunate reason.
And Mayor, one of the events, of course, that we have to talk about is the annual pie eating contest that you were not here for this year.
Unfortunately, I was not able to defend my title from the previous year, where finally I dominated former Mayor John Cruikshank and took the belt away from him. Unfortunately, I was not able to defend my title. I do think that it was a great time. Some of the things I saw on camera.
Absolutely.
Councilman Lewis not being able to follow directions, doesn't quite understand the no hands rule.
That's right.
But I know he got some ribbing for that. Yes. But a great event. And everything we do on 4th of July to honor our country's founding. Just such a great time for the community to come together. One of our two major signature events, 4th of July celebration, and then, of course, Whale of the Day.
And we're going to let him off the hook because next year you'll be back and
Absolutely.
you will defend the belt, and it'll be great. And Liz, we have so many other holiday things coming up. Because
RPV, we know how to party. We know how to have a good time.
We do know how to have a good time. And we will be seeing you at many of those events over the holidays.
Absolutely.
Mayor, thank you so much for spending some time with us today on Studio RPV. We really appreciate it.
Thank you for your service. We'll see you at that reorganization meeting on December 2nd when the council is changing the guard.
Well, I hope I'm going to see you the night before for the annual holiday party.
Absolutely.
All of these festivities and activities.
So much going on.
Thank you for all you're doing. We really appreciate
that.
Thank you all.
All right, we will be right back, so don't go away.
Most people don't know the rules when riding an e-bike.
We want to let everyone know the rules when it comes to riding your e-bike. Never ride your e-bikes on the sidewalk. Your bike can go up to 20 miles per hour, so it's always recommended that you ride on the streets.
Always stop at stop signs and stoplights. Remember, you have to follow the same rules as cars and motorcycles.
Also, riding on the trails is never allowed. There are too many people and animals you can run into.
And remember to always wear a helmet.
It can save your life.
When you are riding e-bikes here on the hill, you should know the rules and follow them.
Remember, never have your cell phone out.
Distracted riding can lead to accidents. E-bikes are fun, so
ride safely, RPV.
Ride safely, RPV. This public service announcement is brought to you by the Lomita Sheriff Station and RPVtv.
We are back and busier than, are we ever not busy, Liz?
I know it. We say, holiday time, even busier.
Yes.
So much happening in our community. And this girl has been busy. She was covering the World Series and she's still celebrating.
October was a blur, but it was a good blur because the Dodgers are back-to-back champions. Can you believe that?
It's just unreal. It was the most exciting series to watch. It was like gripping your seat at the end because you didn't really know how it was going to go.
No, and one different move, catch, hit could have changed the entire outcome. It was so exciting and one of the most watched in many, many, many years. But that 18 innings, I got to tell you, that was an all-nighter at Dodger Stadium.
We were texting back and forth. A really exciting night, and extra exciting this year because our wonderful sports news reporter Maria Sorreo was. If you were watching locally here, the World Series, you probably saw her. She is a representative with Easter Seals and ran a series of incredible public service announcements about how anyone can do anything, really, is the message.
Right.
Talk about that.
Well, so many athletes really have been such an inspiration to me, and I think they're an inspiration to a lot of people. They don't see what they go through. And so when Easter Seals approached me about working with them, I said, let's put together a series of PSAs where we can encourage all people with disabilities, not disabilities, and I went to each team and they were all in. So we've got baseball and football going on right now. Next will be hockey and basketball, but all of the pro teams are in. It's been so much fun, and we had a lot of viewers during the World Series, so that was exciting.
And they're called the Game On Project, and you are on it, including, I guess you also had someone call saying, they were at SoFi, and there you are. They're showing these public service announcements around Southern California, but you've been in a wheelchair since you were five. Mm-hmm. And you've never let that define you. It's empowered you, I feel like, knowing you like I do. And I think that I watched one of the interviews you did, and I know you so well, but just to be reminded that, like, you saw what athletes go through.
I did.
They get injured, they bounce back, and that just being resilient, and you have that, and that just,
Thank you.
that is a gift, and I'm thankful to witness that with you every day.
I think resiliency is something that we all have to really strive for in so many things that we do. And again, just you have to keep going. That's really the message that I want to deliver, is just keep going, keep doing it. They say that 90% of people quit right before they get what they were striving for. So just keep going. As Kobe used to say, the journey is the success. So you have to enjoy all of it.
And you do, and you're everywhere.
I do.
And,
even those 18 innings, I enjoyed them all.
It was fantastic. We have a lot going on in the community in the last month.
So
in the
much.
city nonstop events. We had the cutest little on Halloween. It was called the Halloween Parade over at Eastview Park.
Halloween parade.
And over there they had the dog parade. And the exciting news at that event, Maria, is that on November 7th, our city reopened the Eastview Dog Park enclosures because they had renovated and redid the enclosure lawns and all that. And so it's such a great park, and
so awesome.
So fun to be the community together for that. And then
How many people were there? It looked like 200.
There was a lot of a lot of dogs in every costumes, shapes and sizes.
That's great.
And it was wonderful because the vendors were there from the community, including, support our local businesses right there off Western Avenue.
Yes.
There is a pet supply store, Centinela. They're one of our businesses. So that was really fun just to meet the different people that are out there, doing the work for our wonderful four-legged critters walking around our dog.
One of our little elves told me that you and I are going to be on Western Avenue next month. So you're going to want to watch that show too.
We're going to have a wonderful holiday show. Shop local.
We are.
Shop
That's right.
Western Ave. Lots of new places to explore.
That's right.
And then we always talk public safety in our community.
Yes.
There's been a lot of emergency preparedness expos and events. I was at the one at Peninsula Center where hundreds of people came out to learn about doing what you got to do to be ready in case something
we did home
happens.
hardening with the fire department. So much that everybody can do to be safe, for sure.
And we have a lot of incredible December, the calendar coming up. Mark your calendars.
So many people.
One after the other. Our city is doing all kinds of events, and of course we'll do the holiday parade. I don't know if you want to mention some of the events coming up.
We've got the tree lighting from December the 12th on. Get ready. We're going to have snow. That's going to be exciting. I know our mayor's going to be enjoying that one.
Yes.
Very much.
He's the biggest kid going down that hill.
Exactly. The mayor's going to enjoy the snow. We've got Winter Night Magic. We've got Grinch Day, drive-in movie. So many events. We're going to post them all and make sure that you come right down here to the Candidas Civic Center, Breakfast with Santa.
Yes, it goes on and on. And the parade, the holiday parade, which RPVtv covers. And all of these events we're going to be showing you right here on RPVtv. And I always say this, go to our city's website, rpvca.gov.
That's right.
You will find all the events coming up listed, and you'll want to go to them all and get into the holiday spirit. And this year they'll be having a wonderful Hanukkah celebration as well.
Yes, that's right.
So with the menorah lighting, we'll be there. So check it out.
Something for everyone, that's for sure.
And then another big event coming up every year. You cover Citizen of the Year.
Yes, it's Salute to Business and Citizen. It's Salute to Business and Citizen of the Year. So the Chamber of Commerce, the Palos Verdes Peninsula Chamber, they honor many local businesses, and then the Citizen of the Year, the person that really gives back to the community so much. And they're always really, really worthy people of running their business, giving back. And this year, one of the honorees is Jim York, who you know very well.
Yes,
I think
he's
everybody
done so much
knows
for
him.
our community.
Yes, and it was so interesting because he came into the studio, and of course, he has the winery, the
Catalina View
Gardens. That's right. And I think he said that every charity on the hill has been to the Catalina View Gardens for events.
Yeah. He's great. He's always at the events, and he does so much for our community. And so you had time to sit down as one of the...
he's one of the honorees.
Honorees being mentioned.
Yes, but we also got a lesson on why he has the kind of wine that he has at the vineyard. So hear the story. Let's take a look.
We grow two types of grapes, Pinot Noir and Chardonnay. And the wine is, the grapes are grown here in the Palos Verdes Peninsula AVA. We recently got approval of the AVA, which is a nationally designated wine grape growing region. There's only one other AVA in LA County, which is Malibu. So this is a long process to get that approved. Now you look at our label, it says Palos Verdes Peninsula on the bottom. Now, with the wine, the 2 grapes we have 4 wines. So we have the Pinot Noir, which I would say is our flagship wine, which is a very difficult grape to grow. There's very few places on the coast where it's grown because it has to have cool weather and not too cool, but then you also have the issue with fog, which we deal with. And then we make a Rosé Pinot Noir, which is the same grapes, but the grapes are pressed first, and that's why it has the pink color. And then we have 2 Chardonnays. This is our standard Chardonnay made the classic French Burgundian style, and this we call our Chardonnay Reserve, which more oak is added, and so this is more expensive and a little oaky. Now, I'll also point out that our 4 labels are done, have original artwork from artists on the peninsula. This wine is available at all the restaurants in Terranea, the seafood market in Golden Cove, the Malaga Cove Market, Lanada Bay Market, Primo Italia in Torrance, and the wine shop in Torrance.
All right, that was so fun to see, Jim. And we're going to move on from his grapes to the seedless tangerines from my tree.
That's right.
I have to say, Maria, we have 2 tangerine trees. They're Satsuma tangerines, seedless, skins fall off. We have hundreds of them.
I was going to ask you, how many do you get a year?
Oh, we have so many. I've never counted, but I know this year, which stay tuned for our holiday shoot, I'm going to make some tangerine marmalade as gifts.
I love that.
I saw a recipe for tangerine salsa. Yeah. So we're going to put, it's nothing like, we eat so much at the holiday.
I know, homemade
so let's
gifts
have
are the best.
some light fruit.
Okay.
And what we have going here is really cute, festive pumpkin tangerines.
From Pat Brown.
And so we have to say this. So Pat
Yes.
Brown is a legend on our community.
She is.
She used to be with the Palos Verdes News, and we're talking earlier about Mr. York being honored as Citizen of the Year.
Yes.
Pat Brown was one of the Citizens of the Year with her husband Frank and their daughter Louise back in the day. She told me she was invited, as everyone's going to be.
Yes, so
Citizens
many.
of the Year will be at the event you'll be at.
That's right.
But she's the one that taught me about this. And she said, you go to holiday parties, you always want to bring something. She started bringing these. Couldn't be easier. Celery sticks and tangerines. And she said,
so cute.
They get gobbled up because you get all that heavy food that we love to have at Thanksgiving, the cheese, the crackers, and couldn't be easier, and it looks so festive and fun. So we're just going to make a few.
Let's do.
So 2 ingredients.
Okay.
Your celery and your tangerine. So we're going to pop that in.
Look at how cute these are.
Aren't they great?
Adorable.
It takes this is a good thing to do with kids.
Oh, absolutely.
And it
they
keeps
can't
them,
make too much of a
keeps
mess.
them eating their fruits and veggies, too. We
That's
can't forget about all that
right.
in between the pies.
That is awesome.
How about it?
And if you want to dip them in a
Isn't that
little
great?
chocolate, go ahead.
Yes, no, you're right about that. I did see another recipe for dipping tangerine in chocolate.
That looks
so
delicious.
Here's for everyone for a fruitful time at the holidays.
That's right.
And it's so
Very
nice
good.
always being with you, Maria.
Will so great.
Thanksgiving.
I don't know yet. Maybe Friendsgiving, we'll see, but there'll be football practice.
She'll be at the Rams.
Yeah, I'll be at football practice for sure. But then after that, Liz and I will be right back to work because we will be doing our holiday shows. So don't miss the next 2 studio RPVs. We're going to do double duty before the end of the year.
Yes, we have lots of fun festivities to share. And thank you for tuning in to Studio RPV.
Yes.
Happy Thanksgiving. Happy holidays, everyone. I'm Liz Brown Swanson.
I'm Maria Sorrell. We'll see you next time. Dig in, Liz. Look at that.
Gobble, gobble.
Gobble, gobble. Look at her cute.